Hey, I guess let's do the quartering. He's got another Brie Larson video. Surprise, surprise. So let's check it out.
When I was out in that storm,
I was real worried.
you were worried. It got me thinking, I might never get the chance.
What? Tell me.
Oh god, please let this be true, just because the Chuds will lose their minds. Logarth says, U.S. military 1.5 or 4 million active, 800,000 reserves, 165,000 deployed. All of these people changed over 2 months of there being a new president. Yep. I want nothing more than for Brie Larson to be Luke Skywalker's wife. I'm not even the biggest fan of Star Wars, but my god, I'd be so happy just because it's gonna make the quartering's head explode.
Pardon me, sir, but what the f*** is going on here? I don't approve of this at all. This is rather disgusting.
Honestly, the quartering casting him and his ilk as an annoying C-3PO that no one wants to deal with, getting in the way of everyone's fun, is oddly appropriate.
What a wonderful day. I couldn't possibly have
The contrast on his camera is set so high.
foreseen just how amazing today, Tuesday, May 18th, was gonna be until I received an interesting tip that Star Wars is forever doomed. As, even not even the amazing range and comedic timing and general likability that Brie Larson brings, not even that will be able to save it. Yet a new report is saying that Brie Larson has been cast to play Luke Skywalker's wife.
Oh, for the love of God, please, please do it.
While also making demands for more screen time from Marvel. Love it. I love it. Look, I don't think that there's enough Brie Larson movies out there to watch. I want to be able to fill up like an entire weekend of just back to back to back to back Brie Larson movies, and TV projects, I suppose, would be fine too. This via Jack Posobiec. Brie Larson, with a history of anti-male comments, reportedly cast as...
A history of anti-male comments, those comments being, hey, wouldn't it be cool if there were more women and, like, people other than white guys in the movie review community? And then the quartering and everyone like him lost their goddamn minds.
Luke Skywalker's wife, Mara Jade, after failing to be cast in the Star Wars movies. Now, we do know she did try out. I don't think it's any big deal that a Hollywood person tries out for a movie and doesn't get it. I would argue that there's probably many.
Jack Posobiec was an early adopter of Pizzagate, by the way. I thought his name sounded familiar.
Roles that most people try out for and don't get. This is via Inside the Magic. Brie Larson reportedly cast as Luke Skywalker's wife. Now, this isn't a new rumor. This has actually been around for a very long time. MCU star Brie Larson has made no secret of her love for the Star Wars franchise. The Captain Marvel actress previously confirmed that she auditioned for all 3 Disney sequel trilogy films, but failed to make the cut. Now it seems Larson could be getting her wish. A new report indicates that the MCU fan favorite is in serious talk.
Again, I don't know. I don't like when he laughs at, like, fan favorite. Like, Jeremy, just because you don't like Captain Marvel doesn't mean other people don't like Captain Marvel. I went and I saw Endgame in person when that came out. And when Captain Marvel came on the screen for the first time, people in the audience were like, woo! Random audience people like these characters because the movies tell them to like them. It's that simple. And I like Brie Larson fine as Captain Marvel. I hope there's better writing in the sequel, but, like, I think the base is there to build something more entertaining. Although I did like the first Captain Marvel fine. It's not in my top 10 or anything of Marvel movies, but it's enjoyable. But, like, this idea that he has that the general public hates her is so warped from him living in this echo chamber of just, like, mid-40s, mid-30s, right-wing dudes on the internet. He has such a warped vision of how other people see these characters.
With Disney and Lucasfilm to play Luke Skywalker's wife, Mara Jade Skywalker, as the Star Wars universe continues to expand. Now, this is just a rumor, and it's not being reported by any of the larger type sites. Inside the Magic often quotes, "We got this covered" as a source, which often quotes, "Dude, trust me" as sources, and is usually...
Well, as long as you can pull a 12-minute video about it and throw in some ads, that's what matters, Jeremy.
Wildly inaccurate, but there may be just enough smoke here to consider that there is some fire here. Ever since the iconic Jedi Knight, the CGI version of Mark Hamill during episode 6, Return of the Jedi, made a cameo appearance in Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni's The Mandalorian Season 2 finale. There have been rumors about Star Wars Legend's wife becoming canon. It would definitely fit the mold for Disney.
See, I would find that to be almost... Lord Necro JZ with 25 bits says, has he uploaded anything new to his TikTok? Maybe he posts the next wholesome cleanse. I haven't checked. See, this I would find to be really weird as a choice if they were going to do something like this. I don't think they would do, and I could be wrong, but I don't think they would choose to do a character that's like a Legends character that's so intrinsically linked with an original trilogy character like Luke Skywalker, because it would be basically saying, okay, we need to include Mark Hamill de-aged at some point in this, and well, as a cameo in The Mandalorian, that's one thing, and it could be done relatively quickly. It almost feels like Luke would have to be a reoccurring character or like an important future character in a show or movie with this person, and I don't think they want to do that if they can choose to do something else. Like, I could see them casting Brie Larson as someone else in the Star Wars movies. They probably will at some point. Disney kind of has their stable of regular actors and actresses that they hire, and they kind of stay within that realm because they know that they have a good working relationship with those people. But just this specific role, I don't know. Feels a little weird. They're also talking about having Sebastian Stan play Luke Skywalker for a Mandalorian spinoff. Ooh. People would not like that. I'm not necessarily against it or anything. He actually does look similar enough that you could probably do something, but it's kind of like the Solo prequel, you know? Except even weirder because it would be Luke, but like a midquel. I don't know.
An opportunity for them to replace a man with a woman would be right up their alley.
But she'd be playing Luke Skywalker's wife. That's not replacing a man with a woman. What?
It's also interesting to note that Timothy Zahn's Star Wars Expanding Universe Thrawn trilogy novelization, Mara Jade is connected to Grand Admiral Thrawn, the blue-skinned villain, which was introduced in the Mandalorian saga when Ahsoka Tano, Rosario Dawson, and Din Djarin, Pedro Pascal, teamed up to defeat the Corvus Magistrate, Morgan Elsbeth. He is expected to play a major role in Mandalorian Season 3 and interconnected spin-offs, Ahsoka and Rangers of the New Republic, so certainly would not be surprising if Mara Jade showed up in the current canon sooner than later. Now, I don't think that Brie Larson probably has time to be filming Captain Marvel 2, The Marvels, and this does seem to fly in the face of Disney reports that Disney has lost confidence in her.
Those reports are bullshit. Stop believing fan fiction, Jeremy.
People think Disney lost confidence in her because they literally, and maybe not Brie Larson, but the Captain Marvel character. Look, if you look at Captain Marvel, it is a movie that should have come out after Endgame. It was very clearly thrown in.
Why?
Where Black Widow should have existed. Black Widow should have came out where Captain Marvel came out, but Disney wanted to force
Porque no los dos? You could have done both.
Captain Marvel on everybody, and therefore this is what we got. They crammed it in, pretended it was required reading to watch.
What do you mean, what? Pretended it's required reading? It's just a movie in the Marvel franchise. What are you talking about?
Endgame, and Brie Larson's Captain Marvel was in about 80 seconds of Endgame. This is
Okay. She was in a decent bit of it. You could probably say the same about a lot of characters. There's like 30 or 40 Marvel superheroes at this point.
the first time her name's been connected to popular Star Wars legend character. Fans have previously called for Larson and another Marvel actress, Elizabeth Olsen, to take on the role of Luke Skywalker's wife. I don't think anybody... I think that would be a pretty deep lore character to have. If you're going to have Luke Skywalker's wife, it probably couldn't be in The Mandalorian, given the... well, actually, what am I talking about? Yes, you could. So you could have Luke Skywalker's wife in The Mandalorian. I don't know if they would give... Maybe it's just a one-time, like a one-shot cameo. But look where consider the sources, right? We got this covered. Reportedly in talks to Lucasfilm and Mara Jade. Who are they citing as their source? Let's see. Nobody.
Why does Jeremy do this? Why does Jeremy go on stream and then on stream point out that the sources he's making the video about are non-existent? You're just making me think, and I'm not a fan of Jeremy, unironically, but like you're just making me think, why am I wasting my time watching this video? It's just you meandering through an article and then looking for a citation, and then you don't find one and point out that this video is pointless. Like, why? Hydrate. Will do.
Nobody?
Right, and if it's like a stream, I could sort of understand that too. If it's like on the fly, you're looking into something, like I understand that. But it's he pre-records his videos and he hires an editor. What is he doing?
No, we've heard from our sources this week. The same ones who told us Ahsoka Tano was going to appear in The Mandalorian Season 2 long before it happened, that Brie Larson is in discussion with Lucasfilm to play none other than Mara Jade. So maybe it is a reliable source, I suppose, that we look into it. But again, it really hasn't, been confirmed by like Variety or The Hollywood Reporter. But then you see this as of this morning, Captain Marvel to lead the Avengers as Brie Larson asks MCU bosses, challengers ready.
RepublicWorld.com. Hold on. RepublicWorld.com is an Indian right-wing news channel launched in 2017. Interesting. So this is the source he found on Brie Larson Marvel News? Okay. A right-wing news source from India. That's who I expect to get the scoop on Disney casting news. Towing24 says the only difference between Jeremy and Peter is Peter wouldn't get banned from Magic the Gathering unless he was tripping balls and confused someone for an alien.
Brie Larson's Captain Marvel may possibly lead the Avengers in the future Marvel Studios movies that will feature the Apex superhero team. No chance. Although this has also been reported. We've also talked about an all-female Avengers. I'm sure many things are on the table for Marvel. I just think after Phase 4, I mean, certainly the Marvel Cinematic Universe has absolutely peaked.
I mean, if that's your opinion, that's great. I can respect that. I really enjoyed WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But if you're over it, that's cool. I get it. They've done like 25 movies or something at this point. Kingdom Reborn 47, thanks for subscribing for 4 months, says, oh man, this is just like how relatable the epoch times are. A Colston with 20-bit says, geez, imagine being angry over nothing. Imagine the blood pressure readings on these chuds.
Just wildly uninterested in it. I had a speckle of interest in Black Widow that's long dissipated since it's been years since the last Marvel movie came out. And I couldn't care less about Shang-Chi. I can care less about Shang-Chi because I care that amount about the Eternals. I don't really care about Loki on Disney Plus.
That's interesting. I think Loki looks great. I do actually think moving forward, I think the Eternals is going to struggle. I mean, I guess it depends on the ads and stuff they come out with, but like, I don't know anything about the Eternals, and I don't really care. It seems like it's just going to be sort of generic superhero stuff, which I know a lot of Marvel stuff is, but like, I don't even know the deal with the Eternals. Like, I understand they're godlike eternal beings or something, but they just look kind of generic. Does that make sense? And maybe the movie will come out and it'll be great. I'm not saying that's not gonna happen. Just right now, I don't see anything about this that makes me interested. I don't know. Hopefully it's good. I didn't really give a shit about Guardians of the Galaxy before it came out either, so maybe there'll be some strong characterization and performances, and maybe the plot will be interesting. But I don't know. I think if we're going to see any struggles, we're probably going to start seeing them in Eternals and maybe Shang-Chi. But even that, like Shang-Chi, it's like a singular character. I think the projects like Eternals, where it's trying to introduce you to like 8 new superheroes, I think people are going to get a little about it. But maybe I'm wrong.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier was okay. Not great. Okay. But also knowing the way that Marvel's going to continue to push politics in their stuff, I don't love it.
Politics. There are women and non-white people talking about non-straight white people things in my comic books. Hydrate? Okay.
You see, the official synopsis, we talk about the Marvel star Brie Larson has reportedly reached out to Marvel head honcho Kevin Feige, as well as other people of considerable significance at Marvel Studios, in order to let them know that she would like to be the leader of Marvel Studios' Alpha Super Team.
See, that sounds like utter bullshit to me, because what actor or actress does that shit? I just don't see that happening.
The Avengers in the future Avengers movie. And again, we're sourcing, we got this covered. So let's take this with a grain of salt, but have some fun nonetheless. Which may be the Portal reported such supposed development first. Through which Portal reported letting Brie Larson lead the team may be the next logical step in Marvel Studios. Now this, again, seems to fly.
Pick a number between 1 and 30 if you want a chance at Timeout Roulette. And Sushi Mom, you pick based on the number. Nick says, it's only politics if they disagree with me. Hashtag conservative logic. Mike Mack says, the Eternals might deal with Thanos because Thanos is also an Eternal, as well in the comics, and the Eternals are descended from early humans who were experimented on by Celestials, whom also created the mutants and the deviants. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's good.
Fly directly
Doodleburb, you must have picked the number because you got timed out.
in the face of not only changing the title of Captain Marvel to The Marvels.
They didn't change it. They just didn't have an official title yet. It's like when they announced like Ant-Man and the Wasp, it wasn't called Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was called Ant-Man 2, and then later they changed it to Ant-Man and the Wasp. They're calling Captain Marvel 2 Marvels because it not only includes Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, but it also includes Monica Rambeau's character, Spectrum, who also goes by Captain Marvel sometimes in the comics, or Photon, and it's going to include Miss Marvel as well, who's getting her own Disney Plus show. So, it's involving 3 characters who go by Captain Marvel in the comics. It's called the Marvels. So they're like a team in this.
Don't underestimate the power or the reasoning behind that change. If they felt extremely confident in Captain Marvel as a character, they would not be calling this movie The Marvels.
That doesn't make sense, Jeremy, because it's still intrinsically associated with Captain Marvel, and in honesty, it requires a greater understanding of the character that Captain Marvel exists and who she is to even understand that this movie is about her and people similar to her. Like, how can you not? Captain Marvel is the 23rd highest grossing movie of all time. It did fine.
They would be calling it Captain Marvel 2, or Captain Marvel and and Friends, Captain Marvel and Kamala Khan, or whatever. You know,
I'm glad Jeremy isn't in charge of titling things. He's not very good.
I don't know. One of the reasons cited by the Portal is her comic book counterpart, Captain Marvel, has been seen leading the Avengers at one point in source material. The second reason why it seems more plausible to the proposition of the writer of the aforementioned news piece is that Captain Marvel is unquestionably one of the strongest Avengers in the Marvel superhero roster. Well, I mean, you could argue that the strongest Marvel superhero does not lead the Avengers as it stands now. And I don't think that this... I think this is... Okay, I think this is all baloney sausage. I don't think... I actually think that Disney is losing faith in the Captain Marvel character.
Which is why we're making a big budget sequel where we're not only including Captain Marvel as the main character, but also linking it with our hit Disney Plus shows, WandaVision, with Monica Rambeau showing up as Spectrum, and also our upcoming Disney Plus show, Miss Marvel, with the introduction of one of the biggest superheroes of the last 15 years, Kamala Khan. That's why. What? Why would they be cross-promoting so many different things with this if they had no confidence in the project?
Not necessarily in Brie Larson. And I don't think that they would put the entire franchise on her shoulders. If they did, it would be amazing for this channel because the movies would just be terrible and they would continue to just be an utter embarrassment of the box office.
Again, the first one is the 23rd highest grossing movie of all time. Captain Marvel made like $1.38 billion. It did fine.
But
get woke. Make over $1 billion at the box office. Cha-ching.
Modern day cinema allows companies like Disney to hide these type of films.
Hey, Cassie.
Hide their flops now. We have to wait till like annual reports come out or quarterly reports, and then they're usually buried inside of that. So, ultimately, do I think, Daniel Rickman generally is a pretty good source, saying that,
Oh, Cassie.
has she reached out to Marvel to let them know she wants to lead?
She gets jumpy now when I try and pet her because I've been having to put steroid cream on her bottom because of excessive licking that was happening for a while. So she gets kind of jumpy when I go to pet her sometimes now. It makes me sad. Towing24 says, I hope this makes $2 billion, then watch Jeremy have a nervous breakdown on screen.
The Avengers making demands there. I believe that's possible, certainly. I don't think that will ever happen.
Well, thank you for trying to raid Goth Geek Gaming. People go try and check out Goth Geek Gaming here on Twitch.
I don't think, the character is... First of all, the character is not well known.
Okay, most of the characters in the Marvel movies weren't well known to the general public prior to the movies. No one gave a shit about Iron Man. No one gave a shit about Captain America. No one cared about Thor. No one cared about the Guardians of the Galaxy or Ant-Man or any of these characters. I think the most well-known characters probably were the Hulk because of the TV show and Spider-Man, which is owned by Sony, so they didn't even get to do Spider-Man until much later.
You could have A-Force in the MCU. That might be a thing. I don't know. I don't buy it. As far as Brie Larson getting some, cameo in as Luke Skywalker's wife, could absolutely happen. She's already obviously in the Disney family. She's expressed a love of Star Wars. She probably really does like Star Wars. And she's kind of the it girl right now with Disney. So that's possible. Although I'm taking all of this with a giant pinch of salt. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Every time, Jeremy's videos on Brie Larson have fallen into such a pattern in that how do I put this? He'll have some clickbait title, like, oh, Brie Larson is gonna be Luke Skywalker's wife. She's the new star of the Star Wars. The Star Wars is the best or the worst, or whatever. And then you click the video, and then half the video is him questioning the sources, and then him talking a little bit about what it might mean if it were true. And then at the end of the video, he goes, well, this is probably untrue, but, you know, whatever. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for clicking the ads. End of video. It's just, like, not cool. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on.